Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs. Welcome to Scripture Pockets 2026. We are in a new year and we're starting our Scripture Sundays with a new project called Scripture Pockets. And we're going to be creating 52 different pockets with 52 different scriptures over this whole year of 2026. And we're going to be doing that every week. Every week I will be creating a pocket for a journal page and using a different scripture from a different book of the Bible. So I hope you will be joining me each week. I will be posting the videos on Sundays. So if you aren't subscribed and you're interested in this, I would encourage you to subscribe so you get the notifications and hit that bell so you get all notifications. These scripture pockets can be used in your journal pages, or they can be used as standalones where you could create one and fill it up and use it as a witnessing tool to give out to people free. You can make the pocket and write the scripture verse on the page, or you can put the scripture verse as a tag or a journaling card in it. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun and it will be very useful. Last year I learned how to make over 100 different pockets from doing the challenge with Cindy A. Lewis, 100 pockets. So I'm really happy that I can come on here and show you how to make a new pocket every week. So let's get to it. I'm going to get my materials and I'll be back to show you how to make a really, really useful pocket. Okay, here is the pocket I created as a prototype to show you. I've put it on the cover of my Bible journaling notebook that I'm going to be using this month as part of a project in Jesus Junk Journals. Pam there created this small little Bible journaling kit that we can use to focus on Genesis 1 through 3. And I didn't buy her little kit. She gave it free to the people that are in the Junk Journal group. And if you want to join that group, you can download that and get started with this Bible journaling. It's 4 pages, and I think it's very cool. So Pam created that for us to use in the Junk Journal Creators Facebook group, which I will link in the description box if you want to check that out. But I chose the Bible verse Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. I chose that for this first week of our scripture pockets. And I was thinking, well, in the beginning, God created. In the beginning, God created. What did he create? He created the heaven and the earth. But what else did he create? There was 6 days of creation. So I thought I would make this waterfall pocket this week for each day of creation. So I made 7 pockets, 6 for the days of creation, the 7th for God resting. And I put it on a backing piece and I glued it to the cover of this Bible journaling notebook that I'm using for this Jesus Junk Journals Bible journaling that I hope to do. But this is the waterfall pocket. You don't need to use it like I'm using it, but if you want to, you would create 7 pockets and attach it to this backing piece and either put it in your journal or on the cover of your journal. And it has day 1, and these pockets just flip down. Day 2, Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's your backing piece, which you could cover any way you want. I put this printout from Pam's free Genesis Bible journaling that I got printed out from her Etsy page. And then inside these pockets, I made little journaling cards out of index cards. And I wrote what God created each day. First day, he created light. Well, he actually didn't create light. He said, let there be light. He didn't create the light because Jesus was the light. Jesus is the light of the world. So anyway, I put the little sticker that Pam had printed on there, but you could just write light. And then I printed out the verse, or you could write the verse. I printed mine out with this little PeriPage printer that I got on Amazon. It's a thermal printer. It prints like the receipts you get at the grocery store. Doesn't use ink. I printed that out and glued it on there. And then on the back is the index card lines where you can write your thoughts. And I'll give you the measurements of how you would cut those. And then it just fits right in this little pocket. So each one of these pockets has one of those journaling cards. And then day 7, of course, is when God rested. So I just made a card with that scripture. So I think this is a really great way to start the new year. If you want to do this project, I'll show you how I made mine. If you don't want to make the waterfall with 7 pockets, you can make it with 3 or 4, or however many you want, and it'll still work in your journal page. If you don't want to make the pockets this size, you can make them bigger or smaller. But I'll show you how I made this one. I'm going to set this side, and we'll start the video now where I'm showing you how to make the pockets. I've already made, I think I made 5 of them, just to save time. And I'll show you how to do 2 more. And then this is the backing piece. This backing piece is 9 inches by 4.5 inches. And I'll put all the measurements in the description box for you. So I cut this backing piece 9 inches by 4.5 inches on just a piece of cardstock. Actually, it's kind of heavy scrapbook paper. And then the pockets, if you want to make them the same size as mine, you would cut a strip 9 3/4 by 3.5. So 9 3/4 by 3.5. I use double-sided scrapbook paper, not real heavy. And then you would score this. I have a scoring board that I use, which I really love, and I think it's very useful to have. But if you don't have a scoreboard, you could always just use your ruler and maybe a butter knife to score with. But I got this scoreboard on Amazon. I'll put a link for that also. You score the long side and the short side. So here I'm scoring the long side on this end, 1/2 inch. And then you turn it. To the short side, and you score it again at 1/2 inch. Oops, kind of went off kilter there. Score it at 1/2 inch, right on that mark. What's wrong here? there we go. Okay. And then you just fold those edges over. And you burnish them down. And then you snip the edges of the corners. Oops. That one tore. That's okay. You snip the corner, just the edge of the corner, off in a little triangle on each end. Each end where you scored, snip off the corner so that when you fold it down, it isn't so bulky. Like that. Okay, so now you've got those two ends scored and folded. And take this end that isn't folded and fold it in half right up to this. Oops, line it up so that you fold it in half. Okay. Okay, now it's folded in half. Open it back up. And on the side where you folded and scored, open that up. And right there in the middle, where you folded it, cut a little triangle. Like that, right there by that fold line. Now you can start gluing. Fold these back up. Put some glue. Get this, my glue, my glue. Take some glue. You can either use the wet glue or you can use a glue stick. I use a glue stick. This Oohoo glue stick. But I think it's kind of running out. I better get my big one. But you can use wet glue if that's your preference. And glue this side here that is folded over. This side here, leave that tab. Do not glue this tab. This is what we will use to make our waterfall. So glue down, put glue on the folded over edges here, but do not put glue here. Okay, now leave this tab open and fold this up. Meet those corners and glue it down. So now you have a pocket with this little tab here. And this is what we will use to glue our waterfall pocket down to the page. Now, if you want to, you can cut a little half circle there, like I did with these pockets. And my punch right now is not working, so I will just draw and cut. I think I used this to just kind of put the cover on, just to kind of measure and then draw around and cut like I did here. So if you want to do that and you don't have a punch, just take something that you can draw a half circle and then you can cut it out with your scissors. Kind of like that. I just cut this one part. I don't cut both sides of the pocket. So just kind of go around if you don't have a punch, like that. Okay, so there we have a pocket. And now I'll do one more. Keep this to trace my next punch. So, whatever you want to call it. This. All right, so I already scored this one. So I'll show you again. Score it and then fold it up on both ends. Burnish it down so you got a good fold. This one doesn't unfold too good. So a little bit heavier than the other scrapbook paper. Okay. And after you fold it down, open it back up and snip those corners. Just right on the edge, like a triangle. And fold it back up again. Fold it in half. Burnish it down. Make sure you got it folded exactly straight. Open it back up. And in the middle where you folded it, on this end here where it's folded up, open that up and cut a little triangle right there in the middle. Right by that fold line. Then fold that back up. Fold this down. Keep this tab side open. Do not glue this down. Put some glue on these two edges. And fold it back up, leaving this tab out. Do not fold it inside. And there you have another pocket. Okay. Then we'll make this little, got it kind of uneven, but that's what happens when you don't have a punch. It's not always exactly straight, but I'm just going to hold that there and cut it. I have to get another punch. All right, so there we go. We have our pockets done. So now we can get ready to start gluing them to our backing piece. Now, if you want to ink this, I'm going to ink mine all the way around. It's up to you. You don't have to. You can ink your pockets. And I'm going to ink mine. And I also ink around this little opening here. And then I'm going to ink all my pockets, and then I'll be right back and we'll start gluing them down. Okay, I got all the pockets inked. Now you just need to decide where you want your pockets, in what order. Which pocket do you want to be the one that shows first? I think I would like this one to be my first one. So you would glue that one down. And you, as I said before, you can use wet glue or glue stick, whichever you prefer. This Oohoo glue stick seems to work well for me, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'll show you how we glue it down. Okay, so this is your pocket that shows. This is your flap. So you want to glue, put the glue here. Put the glue there. In frame. Okay, we'll put the glue right there on that tab only. Because then we're going to bend that tab down to the page. Right here at the bottom. And center on the sides and on the bottom. Just glue it down. Because then it's going to flip. Oops. And then it's going to flip like that. So I centered it on the sides and on the bottom. And then it flips down like that. Okay, so there's our first pocket. Now, if we want this pocket to be the second pocket, we do the same thing. Put the glue here on this tab. Let me get this in camera so you can see what I'm doing. Just gluing on this tab right here. And then I'm flipping this down. I'm gluing this tab right to this tab. Right to where that pocket flips up. I'm gluing this one down. Okay? And then this one flips right up. Whoop. Got it too far down. It meets right there. Meets right there. Don't glue over this. Don't glue over this tab. Glue right up to it. Right where this tab ends. And line it up on the sides. So that when you flip it, it shows this one. Okay, and you flip this down, you find your next pocket. I think we'll use this one. Put some glue on it, on this tab. Line it up. Line this bottom part of the pocket up to the end, to where this tab ends. Like that. Line it up on each side and on the bottom. Glue it down. And flip these up. And you just keep doing that. So when they flip up, you see this main one, and then you see parts of these. This one is a little bit wider. I don't know why. So it's kind of sticking out right there. So I thought I lined it up. Just have to move it over a little. Apparently it wasn't exactly measured correctly. Let me see if I can move this over here a little bit. Put a little more glue on it. So that just shows that you really need to measure and align as properly as you can. There, that's better. Okay, so we've got 3 pockets glued down now. I'm just going to glue the rest of these down, and then we'll have our 7 pockets, and I'll be back. Okay, so there we have it. We have our pockets all glued down. They all flip down, and they all flip back up. So that is our waterfall pocket, 7 pockets in our backing piece. If you want to cut this backing piece down, if you don't want it so large, you could do that. You could glue this on the front of a journal or on the inside journal page. You could write the scripture here. You could decorate this any way you want it. You could even add more pockets if you want it. But if you want to put little journaling cards inside, I cut these index cards 3 1/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. And they fit right in these little pockets. Like that. So if you want to do that, you know, I'll put the measurements in the description box. And then if you want to make it like I made this one, you could also put day 1, day 2 on each pocket. And then you could put the scripture verse inside for day 1. God created light. God said, let there be light, and there was light. Genesis 1:3. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it was useful for you. I hope you will create one of these for the first week of January with this scripture and these pockets. And if you do, share an image of it. Share your video on YouTube, or take a picture and share it in our Facebook group or with me on Instagram. I will have all the links in the description box below. Have a blessed week creating, and I hope to see you again next week for another new pocket and another new scripture verse. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.